just gonna throw my clubs in the truck, and then if we get to go, we get to go, and if we don't, we don't.
All right.
But I've been wanting to get out there. I haven't gone golfing in like 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. No, especially for Ed's little
Yeah,
soiree. You got to make sure you're at least hitting them straight, right?
probably not.
Hey, I don't think any of us are gonna be hitting them straight. It's all right.
Well, I golfed with Ed like 3 years ago, dude, and he fucking wiped the floor with me, dog.
Yeah. Yeah. No, last time I was up, saw him. We played like think I was there for like 3 or 4 days, and we played 3 times or something like that. Like
Yeah,
we played a shitload.
he's he is decent, dude. I think it's like the hockey in him, but like he is actually
No,
pretty good.
it's the slap shot. It's that
Yeah,
same motion. Like struggle with the baseball thing because I want to throw my wrists.
yeah, me too.
And it's like with them, like their wrists stay flat all the way through, so they don't ever have that problem.
I think it's like the hand eye too. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, in my opinion, baseball's got the best hand eye. One of them.
yeah, but it's just like I'm
It's
saying,
a di- it's a different feel.
yeah, yeah, because like you're hitting something like on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like
Yeah,
maybe hand eye's the wrong term. Maybe it's more like they're good, like putting club face on ball. You know?
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't
It's
know.
like squaring something up.
Yeah, yeah. Because like baseball. Yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying. Like the hand eye with baseball is definitely probably crazier, especially speed wise. But it's just not the same thing in my head at least.
Yeah, 110%.
Okay. Fluent Football Podcast, me and Bryce, we're going to be breaking down some of the rookies from this draft. Draft was this past weekend. We haven't really gotten together. We've all been partying. So we're going to hit a couple today, kind of just bullshit and warm back up. Possibly do an in-person pod this weekend. We'll see if we got time. We probably gonna golf instead of doing that. but but we're definitely gonna at least talk today and shoot the shit. Bryce, what you got, buddy?
Nothing, man. I mean, I think it was overall. I think it was a good draft. I mean, just kind of recap everything. I mean, going into it, we thought it would be kind of a crapshoot. Didn't really know what the hell was going to go on. Um, I think that kind of lived up to the words. Lived up to its name as far as kind of. I mean, some of these guys that went in the first round that had no talk of going in the first round.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
don't. There.
Eh, like there was a lot of you know, but like going back to what we had spoke about, whatever, maybe 2 weeks ago, where there's a lot of talent in this draft that is so bunched up that it's like it's all really depending on who evaluates it and how you evaluated it and what you need. I mean that was the biggest thing that I saw and took away from it. You didn't. We talked about you're not going to have those blue chip guys and those normal um positions where you take high high in drafts, O line, D line, quarterbacks. You didn't really see that blue chip guy. um so no, it was interesting. I think it was overall, though, I think it was a good draft. I think it kept you on your toes, you know and I think
you
it was good. I think it was good to see.
you could definitely see the areas that they said, "Hey, this draft, is pretty light on D tackle, on it doesn't really have a lot of depth at line and stuff like that." Because it was weird. I thought it was gonna be the opposite, where those guys, like the taller guys, were gonna fall and they were gonna go after like the more blue, like the higher end talent at these other positions, try to attack that first, and then go hit,
Yeah,
like if somebody needs like a nose tackle, like hit that later in the rounds. And it was the opposite. They hit all those lean positions. They like were attacking them in the first, second round. Um, and I thought that was surprising because I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting like some of these people who needed tackles that were, like, reaching high, dude. Um,
I
it
mean,
was surprising.
I definitely think it was surprising. I mean, because 'cause we've never really seen that go on, too often, whereas you're seeing these crazy reaches and so on and so forth. But I think you just
Crazy
see,
reach.
like, yeah, yeah, no, I mean, I think you really like, almost, um, like, highlighted and, like, you know, overemphasized the key positions and what positions get drafted, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
And the value in certain positions is just leaps and bounds so much more than certain positions that it's like, I mean, we talked about, I mean, how many DBs and safeties were in this class?
yeah,
That
shit ton, yeah.
that could have that could be, first
Like,
year first year start not starters, but, some of them be starters for sure, but, contributors on their teams.
I could think of 5 to 7 right now that I'd be surprised if they don't start.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Just and part of that because of skill and so on and so forth, but part of it too because of the situation they were drafted to.
yeah. I
Y
really I think one of and we're gonna jump around this draft. I mean, like, so if anybody's expecting us to go from, like, 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, I'm not gonna do that. We're not gonna do
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's I mean, too many people are doing that. If you wanna watch that or learn about it like that, then go watch another show. But we're gonna jump around this a lot, but one of the ones I couldn't believe, if you wanna talk about corner, and I know they had mocked it a bunch, but Darian Price going to the Seattle at 32,
yeah,
I thought that was, like, a sucker pick because like, I thought they were gonna, like, "Oh, they're gonna go running back to go running back, they lost Walker." I really thought they were gonna fucking take the DB route and take Hood that was there or, Gerard McCoy, which fuck, he dropped way out. But I
yeah,
thought he was gonna go there or Pons, like, especially because they have the luxury, like, they coulda taken one of those guys and they're not gonna be the number 1. They may not even had to start. Um, but them losing Woolen, I really thought they're gonna go DB there in the first round because there was a lot of guys on the table after, you know, um, after the New York and Tennessee traded up and shit. Which I still
I
can't believe Tennessee traded up there and didn't take a corner, but whatever.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think as far as like, especially with the Seattle thing, I think Seattle just drafts these guys that are, they gotta fit a mold, right? That especially their DBs, their corners, their safeties, their swing guys, those guys that play safety, linebacker, whatever you wanna call them. But they're all long, they're tall, right? They have long arms, they can press, they can play zone, they can
Yeah,
read, they're good athletes.
and they're all good out of school.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like D'Angelo Pons doesn't check that box.
No, no, but
And there's a couple, like, now there are some guys that really do check that box in this draft, and, I think they came back in with, the 64th overall pick and got Bud Clark out of TCU, who I spoke about on the pod,
yeah, the lengthy
whatever.
kid, big tall kid.
Yeah, yeah, and, I honestly think I said that Seattle would benefit from taking him, but, or they would be a team that would look at him. But you did kinda see them address the secondary issues with the 64th and 99th overall pick. Um, I think Bud Clark can play right away. I think that you're seeing a lot of comparison to Tyrann Mathieu, or
Yeah,
not comparison, but just kinda, I guess, the style that he plays and kind of who he wants to emulate when he plays.
the feel.
So yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I think overall, I mean, I think Jadarian Price is a good pickup for them. Do I think do I
100%. I'm not gonna yeah,
but
I'm not saying it's not, but sorry, go
no,
ahead.
I know. Do I think he should go 32nd overall in the first round? Probably
No,
not.
I thought
Probably
he
not.
was a second round player.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
But,
look at him.
but that was another
Mid second
fucking
round.
example of people reaching up on these spots because running back was light, so they're reaching up, make
Yeah.
sure they got their guy, and they address other needs other places in the draft. But sorry, I cut you off.
No, no, you're good. I mean, I was pretty much done anyways, but I mean, it just goes hand in hand to what we were saying, where those positions that were a little light, people reached up and got the cream of the crop in the draft that they thought they could, and kind of tried to backfill those other positions where they could.
I'll tell you what I loved, which I thought this was great value. Um, the safety Dylan Diamond, that Oregon safety going to the
Yeah,
Bears, that was a great pick by them, dude. That reminds me of like Cooper DeJean going to the Eagles. I know they're not the same player, but like that seems like that's going to be an anchor on their defense that is going to be there for a good bit. That was a great pick in my opinion.
yeah, no, I totally agree. Um, I think I really didn't realize it, but looking at it here, um, who really had a really, in my opinion, a really good defensive draft was Indianapolis.
Okay, they're one of the ones I thought that we're going to trade up with Pons because they're losing Kenny Moore and they love their little slot
Yeah,
safety,
yeah,
or the slot corners. I thought for sure they were going to come up and get Pons there when he started to drop a little bit, and like Colts were sitting right there, like behind, or they may have even traded up. I know they're sitting there in the second round for their waiting for their first pick. I thought for sure they're going to go up and get him, and the Jets ended up snagging him. So, um, but yes, sorry to add on to your point. That's when I started paying attention to the Colts after that, and they were actually they 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 are turning a corner as a franchise. I think a little bit. I think that they're. It just seems like these like I'll say the term like probably 20 times today, but like they just always get caught with their pants down with these sucker picks,
yeah.
and it just doesn't seem like the past couple drafts. I don't remember if that's a new GM in there in the last couple of years or if he's new now, but it just has a different feel, their drafts ever since they whiffed on guy out of UF in the fourth overall.
Huh? Guy out of UF.
The QB out of UF.
Oh,
Uh,
Richardson.
yeah, Richardson.
Yeah, kind of piggyback on what you said. They didn't have a first round pick, so they really couldn't fuck it up. You know what I
No,
mean?
they couldn't afford to fuck it up.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? So like, they really weren't put in that position in this draft to be able to pick, somebody with that high end, pick and stuff like that. But anyways, um, I really like what the two linebackers they picked up in CJ Allen and Bryce Betcher.
That's a
Uh,
Georgia kid, right?
yeah, CJ Allen's a Georgia kid and Bryce Betcher's the Oregon kid.
Yeah.
Um, Bryce Betcher's played a lot of football. Played in a good scheme with Dan Lanning. I think he's gonna be NFL ready. He plays with a very high motor. Um, I think he's pretty good at diagnosing what's going uh, on the offensive side of the ball. And I don't think there'll be a big learning curve from either of them. AJ Halsey, the guy out of LSU, the safety, they went and got
Yeah,
him
I love
17th
him.
overall. I think that's another really good pick. Um, you don't he he's going to be a nice pickup for them because he can really cover in a diverse way. I mean, he can play every scheme. Bless you. Bless you.
I'm listening, bro.
You're good. Um, and he can run it. He can play every scheme defensively. He's got a really high motor. Um, and just his ability to cover all positions. I think he can cover the slot. I think you can even bump him out wide. If you needed to, if a corner goes down or something like that, you could bump him out. You're not going to see a crazy big dip in that. Um, and he's also a really good run supporter. He's not scared to get up and get his nose dirty. So no, I think it was a really good draft for them. And then coming back and getting two edge guys in the fifth and the sixth out of Florida and Ohio State. Uh, so I mean, I think they overall, I think they had a really good draft. I think they hit the areas they needed, and they got some good guys in.
Seems like they went to the well on like these big schools a lot.
I mean, I think they needed guys that they could probably plug and play pretty fast.
Yeah.
They don't really have the time, to be able to develop and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think they got some guys that have played a lot of football. They got some guys that can step in and play right away.
Yeah. Speaking of kind of like linebackers and defensive drafts, Dolphins had who I thought I would have bet money. Jacob Rodriguez, linebacker at Texas Tech, talked about for the Heisman for a couple weeks. Um, I would have put money that he was going to go to the Texans at pick 36. And he made it past Texans, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, he's like, he was supposed to go right there at the top of the second, and like he started to fall a little bit. Like he went to New York was on the clock. I'm like, "Damn, they might." Raiders might. I didn't think the Browns. I think he needed to add to offense, but he kept falling. All of a sudden, it gets closer and closer to the Dolphins pick, and I was like, "Dude, this is going to be so awesome." And the Dolphins are on the clock, and I'm like, "There's no way they're going to break my heart here. There's no way they take this kid because I loved him." And they took Jacob Rodriguez, and I was more excited for that pick than I think when they took Tua or Waddle or anything like that. That kid is going to be like I'm buying that kid's jersey. I'm telling you, he's going to be a fucking stud for us for a long time.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think he's a great pickup, great draft pick. I think he'll be a great player in the NFL. Um, I think another thing too is, what a better way to kind of have a face of a franchise. That guy. I
Yeah,
think he's a really, really good character guy. So that's what we want to see drafted. Um, and no, it'll
especially
be good.
Halfley and like his first season. Like you're gonna like these are like his first defensive pieces. He's really moving in. We got rid of everybody, for the most part. I know like we got some pieces on defense, but I mean, to see them like him go like he took that guy, like they have a plan for him, and like he's a really special player, if you ask me. I mean, I'm just excited as fuck for that kid because I think he's gonna be fun as hell.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think a good comp for him is if he can stay healthy is Malcolm Rodriguez.
Who's Malcolm Rodriguez? Remind me who that is.
Plays for the Lions, or did. He got drafted out of Oklahoma State. Kind of the same build. He was a wrestler.
I don't remember Malcolm Rodriguez.
He was really good. Really good linebacker in college. Didn't get as taken as high in the draft. I think he was a third or fourth round pick. But he ended up seeing a lot of playing time his rookie year with Detroit when they were. I think that's when they had that undefeated season. Would have been his rookie year.
No, we'll see that kid. We haven't had a good inside linebacker, and I can't tell you how long. Like I know we had Brooks or is it Chris Brooks? We had
We still have Derek Brooks.
Derek Brooks. Derek Brooks or Chris Brooks?
No, Chris
Derek Brooks.
Brooks.
Chris Brooks is a running back.
No, Derek Brooks is the guy that played for Tampa like 20 years ago.
Who's our linebacker? I know his last name's Brooks, but I can't.
Brooks, I don't fucking know.
Whatever. I know we have him, but I think he's getting a little older, and it's not like what this kid can do. I don't think. I mean, I think we're gonna have so many turnovers with this kid. Have you seen how he punches the ball out?
Oh yeah, I
It's
mean,
fucking amazing. He had like 10 forced fumbles in the last like 2 seasons or something crazy.
we gotta see how that translates. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
but
But it just goes to like he's there. You know what I mean? His interceptions are fucking awesome too. I mean, he has got great coverage. I'm
yeah, yeah.
excited.
No, no, for sure, totally agree.
Go.
I mean, I think I don't want to kind of talk about the hottest team right now, but fucking the Brownies, man, what a fucking draft.
Dude. Like I have so many people who are like, "Oh, Casey Concepcion is fucking fucked." Da, da, da. Dude, I love this for the Browns. Like you can't like the Browns are great on defense. These guys, these whoever's throwing the ball is going to have a lot of options, and they're going to have a lot of opportunities. I mean, like If you're talking about for fantasy, Casey Concepcion is in a great spot now to fucking to just absorb receptions.
Yeah, I mean, just to go over a little rundown here as far as, there's 5 guys that they drafted that I think are just the first 4 guys they drafted, the 2 first rounds and the 2 second rounds.
Yeah,
Spencer
Fano.
Spencer Fano, I think, in my opinion, I think he was the best lineman in the draft.
Yeah, I would
Um,
agree with you. He's a fucking stud, dude.
swing tackle, can play left and right tackle, and also did some workout at the center position too in the combine. So he showed some athleticism, showed the ability to be able to play multiple positions.
Well, yeah,
Um,
the versatility is what is gonna be great for them because, like, they're rebuilding that offensive line as we
yeah.
speak. I mean, like, that was a plus pick for them, I think. I mean, I know that, like, you know, the Miami tackle and Proctor was there too, and, like, a lot of people had, you know, different rankings for those 3, but I think for what they needed, that was amazing.
No, no, I totally agree. And I think, you know, going back to what we talked about earlier, all these offensive linemen, you could poke holes in every single one of their game. It wasn't it
Yeah,
wasn't like it wasn't like there was a blue chip caliber offensive lineman. There really wasn't this draft, and it is what it is. But in my opinion, he was the best one available. But the 2 receivers in Casey Concepcion and
Boston.
Boston,
Yeah,
Denzel Boston. Um, you know what you're gonna get with Denzel Boston. He's gonna come. He comes from a good pedigree. Comes from his dad playing in the NFL, David Boston. Um, Dad played at Ohio State, so he understands what he's getting himself into. He understands the game real well. He loves the game, so he's super athletic. He's hungry. He's ready to get to work. So
yeah, like
I'm real excited to see what those 2 bring. Good.
no, it's I was just agreeing with you. I mean,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then, the other 2 picks that I really like are 2 defensive picks, um, that they took. I really, really like Emmanuel McNeil Warren.
he's gonna be a
Uh,
stud.
it's the mix of his speed, the mix of his height and weight, and just the way that he plays. It's really crazy. Yeah, I think they'll have a monster on their hands here in about a year. Give it a couple games, and you'll see him. He'll make his impact in the game. He'll make sure he's there.
Look
Um,
look at that fucking defense on paper, dude.
oh, I
I
know,
mean, holy shit.
I know. And then I think another guy that kind of like got slept on, obviously, but Justin Jefferson, the linebacker from Alabama,
Mhm.
that kid's a legit sideline to sideline linebacker. He's not, you know, he's not one of those guys that you're gonna have to worry about running after the play, chasing the ball carrier, um, and all that kind of stuff. You're never gonna have to worry about him helping in run support, or anything like that. He plays a lot bigger than what he actually is. Plays with a crazy, crazy motor. And he's sideline to sideline guy. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
But I really think he'll be kind of one of those guys that takes a leap for him.
Yeah, like what we were saying, I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do with the QBs on the roster. Did you see they drafted Taylor Green?
Yeah.
Super easy pick for them, though. I mean, I can't believe that kid went in the 6th. I thought his combine was gonna bring him up to the 3rd or 4th, like, over Klubnik or Aller or something, but, he's still super raw, so people slept on him, and that's okay. He ends up in Cleveland where I think he's still I mean, the QB room is wide open for Taylor Green. I mean, if he goes out there and he just balls in camp, I mean, I don't think they're gonna have a problem moving to number 2 or even starting him. Um,
Yeah. I don't disagree with you.
but there's so many they have so many guys on defense already, and you add these fucking ballers, man. Emmanuel McNeil Warren is gonna be able to do whatever he wants on that defense. I
Hmm.
mean, he's gonna do whatever he wants. I mean, they've got what I think 2 solid corners already. Don't they still have CJ Henderson?
Yeah, and they have Denzel Ward.
I know they have Denzel Ward, which is, you know, in my opinion, he's been one of the better corners in the draft or in the league, like top 2 in the league
Yeah,
the last 2 years.
consistently. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I mean, Emmanuel McNeil Warren is literally they're gonna have the good able to use him however they want at on every given fucking play. And like you said, that Justin Jefferson kid, I don't think he's gonna start. I think he's a great depth piece though. Just because I like their linebackers. I think the linebackers are the best part of their defense right now over in Cleveland.
I
Um,
mean, I think they've always drafted well at linebacker. You know, I don't think
yeah,
they've never really had a problem with drafting linebackers. They've
no.
always done a good job at that. I
Well,
mean,
their defense rookie of the year last year was their one they had.
especially Alabama linebackers.
Yeah,
They really like Alabama linebackers. You really see him go after him. But no, it'll be interesting. I agree with you. I don't think he'll start like you said, but I do think that he'll be a rotational piece.
yeah. That's. I mean, I think we're gonna see a lot of him, obviously in preseason, and I wouldn't be surprised if what you're saying. These fantasy leagues that have the IDP players, like you know, these
Yeah,
dynasty leagues that you're gonna be seeing that kid's name being mentioned a lot. Because that's just a tackling machine, that kid. Jeremy Bernard is, like, I think one of my favorite day 2 picks by the Steelers. This just seems like they just drafted, like, smart pickings.
yeah,
I mean, this kid just seems like, he's a dog. We talked about him. I mean, we like him. I love where the Steelers got him at, and I think he's the best wide receiver on the roster right now, even over DK.
really,
I think so. I think Jerry Bernard is the best receiver on their roster right now. That's over Pittman, over DK. I mean, they can literally. If we want to talk about versatility, like I think that's the trend of this podcast so far. I mean, they could line that kid up however they want. I mean, you've got DK that's going to be doing everything downfield. I mean, you can literally have Jeremy Bernard do whatever you want for you, and I think he's going to excel. I think he's going to be a just a ball magnet on that offense. Might take a couple
yeah,
years, but I think he might be good.
yeah. No, I mean, I think he's definitely got the projectability and all that kind of stuff to be able to be there. Um, is a big thing with me is just he's not he wasn't one of those blue chip guys coming out, of
No, no.
Alabama, and we haven't really seen a non-blue chip guy that's come out of Alabama really be successful.
We haven't seen a lot of blue chip guys that come out of Alabama be successful.
I mean, well, I'm talking about in the wide receiver room.
I'm talking about that too.
As of recently, I mean, Devontae Smith's been Devontae Smith.
That's Devontae Smith, yeah. I mean, I love him. I'm talking more about like Judy and shit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, it's just it's you're gonna get a player, but how's he gonna perform day in and day out? Is he gonna be consistent? Everything like that. I mean, I think that's the
Well,
same question you have with every rookie, but
yeah. I wanted to see. I want to see. My question with him would be, how does he perform against zone coverage? Um, if he comes out there and he just starts lighting up zone coverage, because it seems like he's got a really good like wherewithal where he's out on the field.
mm,
I mean, he has no problem man coverage, obviously, but I want to see how he does in zone. Because if he's able to pick that up pretty quickly and like, I mean, we don't really know what the Steelers are going to do this year with Mike McCarthy. We don't even know who's going to be throwing to him. So I mean, you might have somebody who's never started an NFL game um, that's going to be tossing the rock. But that's kind of what I'll be looking for. And if he starts, if he picks it up pretty quickly, I'm going to be pretty high on him. Like I said, I'll tell you what it reminds me of. Um, and it's kind of funny because it's almost the same players, but that's involved. Jerry Bernard reminds me of JSN, at least like him coming out in the NFL. I mean, he's got like two studs in front of him, and one of them just happens to be DK Metcalf, which is JSN's problem too. But like, I don't think he's going to be asked to do a lot, and then I don't think he's going to get that much opportunity his first year. And I think people are going to sleep on him after that. Not saying that him and JSN are at all the same caliber of player, but it's almost the same scenario where like behind these guys who are kind of getting older, it's a wide open wide receiver room. I mean, Jeremy definitely has a talent. They're putting him, you know, uh, probably third on the roster. Uh, I wouldn't be surprised if you see Metcalf or Pittman get moved. If they're expecting Jeremy to take a leap after this year. Um, it's just one of those guys I'm picking up everywhere in Dynasty because I think he's a perfect taxi guy that by the time you're moving him off the taxi, he can move right in your starting lineup.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's smart. I mean, that's a smart way of looking at it, um, as far as, from the dynasty aspect of things. But I mean, I agree with you. I mean, Pittsburgh's gonna need somebody to throw the ball to.
Yeah,
It's not like they can't not throw the ball. So, um, but, I mean, in all honesty, what the hell was up with their draft?
their draft.
Yeah.
I mean, like I like it. Kind of reminded me of the Dolphins draft because like it seems like every like I'll like the first pick and then I'll hate the second pick, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah, like, who in the hell told them to draft Drew Aller in the 3rd round?
dude? I mean, I the only thing I can think of is that's just Aaron Rodgers hurting their team because they're having to reach on some guy because they have to go get a guy because they're gonna if Aaron Rodgers isn't playing, they're gonna have a literally a massive open QB competition because I mean they got a lot of guys in that defense who aren't getting younger, and they've got a lot of guys, that I think might want out if they're not playing at what used to be Pittsburgh level. Um, it's kind of dark times in Pittsburgh right now, and I think that's what we're kind of reflected in their draft because Drew Aller going in the 3rd round, I did not have on my bingo card for this draft. I thought he was gonna look like fucking uh Nussmeyer going like fucking like 7th or 6th, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, there's one quarterback that's coming to my name, or coming to my head as of recent, but, I mean, h he very well could be the next Christian Hackenberg, and if he's the next Christian Hackenberg, then Pittsburgh's in a world of shit.
I still like they're saying that Rudolph is gonna be gone, but I like who's the QB that you guys had that won the championship with you?
Um, Will Howard?
Will Howard. I like Will Howard, dude. He's been sitting there. He hasn't had to play. He's been, I'm sure, working on his craft. I mean, why can't he fucking be a starter? Like, I mean, I like it.
I mean, like, I don't disagree with you, but at the same time, like, where I would agree with you is Will Howard not, you know, has he not developed enough to the point where we gotta waste a 3rd round pick on a quarterback? Like that's when I would,
That's a good point.
that's when I start questioning not even not even really like my drafting skills, but I'm questioning my ability to be able to develop quarterbacks too at this point.
They're just
Like,
like, oh fuck.
I mean, like Big
That's a,
Ben, other than Big Ben, it's been a fucking quarterback wasteland.
yeah, they've been it has been so vanilla in QB land in Pittsburgh.
And it's like I don't know. I was baffled when I saw that pick. I was baffled. I don't, I really didn't quite understand it. Um,
That's the pick I thought that it was going to be the other Pennsylvania team. Fucking Eagles take
yeah,
Allen.
yeah,
That's what I thought.
yeah, yeah,
Eagles jumped them the first day, and they're like, "Fuck you, we're going to take out now, dude. We're going to reach on him so you can't grab him."
yeah. How about that fucking fuckery? Philly jumping
That
them to
whole
get
thing doesn't make
Clemens.
sense.
Fucking
That whole thing doesn't make sense.
Howie Roseman does it again.
Yeah, but why the fuck are the Steelers calling him when the fucking pick before them is not even in?
No, I know, yeah, yeah, and then he's like, "Why is Philly calling me?"
Yeah, yeah. But, like, what kind of jackasses I mean, I think the fucking you know what it makes me think? It makes me think that you know, it was the draft was in Pittsburgh, that they had, like, everything bugged, you know, like, where they, like,
Yeah,
had,
yeah.
like, live stream of, like, the team of forums
They got
war room.
the war rooms in, live feed.
Yeah. So they're like, "Oh, it's going here. Let's just call my Mekhi Lemon right now. We're gonna pick him up at our next pick." He's like, "Why the fuck? Why?" I mean, he was a great wide receiver. Why would you not think who went right before them? Dallas. Why would Dallas not want to pick up Mekhi Lemon? Like, why would you think like, "Oh, there's no way they will"? That was so stupid.
I don't know. I mean, the other one too is, do you see that whole Malik Neighbors thing with,
Oh
letting
yeah,
Dallas draft Caleb Downs?
yeah. That was super. That was super stupid. I think. I think the Dolphins.
No, I totally agree with you. I don't I I'm not a big I wasn't a big Malinoga fan coming into the draft. Um, Now, do I think he's a bad player? No. But do I think he's a top 15 pick? No.
I disagree with you on that. I think Malgo. I would have liked to see him go to Miami at 11.
I don't think he's a top 15 pick. I think in any other draft, he's tail end of the first, early second.
I think I think the New York is pretty dumb for letting him fall. I've kind of gone back on this a couple times. Um, but like you know, you know where the Dolphins are at. Okay, even if without Dallas trading up, like you kind of know where the Dolphins are at, where they were probably going to take a tackle no matter what. Which means if you give up on Downs, you're handing them to Dallas because Dallas wouldn't. Dallas would not pass up on
No, no.
Caleb Downs. There's no way. Like we knew that coming in. We were saying that like that Delane wasn't gonna pass wasn't or they wouldn't pass up on Delane if he failed to them. And I just think they could have played defense here, and just took Caleb Downs. And you know your defense is stacked. You know, like for a defensive minded head coach, like, I don't understand why you wouldn't do that. And then to like let him fall to the Dolphins, who need pieces everywhere. So why would they take a safety? You know,
Yeah.
it's like obviously I wouldn't be mad if we took Caleb Downs, but you get what I'm saying. Like just the positional needs there, like they just didn't meet. I mean, I don't know what they're fucking thinking. It's not like like Dallas traded up and like snagged it without them knowing. Like they knew that Caleb Downs was going to go to Dallas. They didn't that they passed on, and they went
Yeah.
Malgoa, which like I said, I actually in the fucking draft preview me and Ed did. I had Malgoa going to the Giants at 10. But that was because Caleb Downs wasn't there. Um,
Who'd you have taken him?
I believe I had Washington taking him,
Okay.
which I thought they could have used Caleb Downs too, in that defense. But you know, Sonny Styles being there, I don't blame him for going Styles.
Yeah, I agree.
I had Styles actually going to Tennessee. I didn't think they were going to balls up and take Carnell Tate, and they did. And I love that pick too. If we want to get into that, I love Carnell Tate going to Tennessee.
Yeah, yeah. No, I do too. I mean, I think
Also, Jeremiah Love going to the Cards,
yeah.
which we fucking talked about. I thought that was a long shot, and then the closer we got to that after that episode, it was like, oh fuck, this might be a real thing.
No, there was rumblings about it right after it got real hot as after we talked about it.
Yeah. We
Um,
said like, oh, that might be interesting, and then all of a sudden it was like the next week that was what the talk was.
yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, going back to Tennessee though. I
Yeah, I'm sorry.
mean, Tennessee had a hell of a draft too.
Yes,
You
they
know,
did.
Carnell Tate, Anthony Hill, the linebacker from Texas. I think he's a really good fit for them too. Another one of those sideline to sideline linebackers.
Yeah.
Um,
I like the Keldrick Falk kid. I thought they got a good deal on him.
I agree. I agree. And then fucking Pat Coogan. I mean, you're getting an offense, a center, an O lineman that's played a lot of football, won a national championship at Indiana, knows how to lead. Um, I think you're getting a really good pick with that in the sixth round. And obviously Nicholas Singleton as well. You know,
Singleton is what I was going to say. Singleton, I was like, fifth round, you got Singleton, who is a great running back for Penn State for years. I mean, if he would have came out last year, he probably would have been a top 5 running back, top 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
No, for sure. I mean, I think they definitely hit on all those kind of key positions they needed to hit on, um, as far as who they needed to take in the draft. I didn't I was weary as to where Singleton was gonna end up.
mhm.
Um, do I think it's the best situation for him? No. But do I think it's a situation where he could succeed? Yeah. I think it's a
100%.
situation where he could succeed. He's got a lot of young talent around him. Um, Now it's just can all that young talent get brought up, and how well can Cam Ward lead? And I think you're gonna kind of get a true look at what kind of leader and what kind of just overall football player Cam Ward's gonna be in these
Yeah,
next 2 years,
and
probably.
you know what? If Cam Ward, which I love Cam Ward because we're,
Yeah,
Florida locals, whatever, South Florida locals. I love Cam Ward. I watched a lot of fucking Cam Ward football. I mean, you're hitting on the spot where, like, you did not get a fair look at him last year.
yeah,
Um, and I still think you didn't get a fair look, and I still think you saw some flashes. Uh, this is gonna be a really kinda weird year for him too, because if he doesn't come out hot off the gate or hot out of the gate, you're gonna already hear people talking about how Tennessee, if they're falling in the draft, um, in the 2027 draft, how they might be picking up his replacement, you know? 'Cause, they've got this new Tennessee team has no marriage to him. I mean, everybody that drafted him is gone from what I understand. Um,
yeah,
because this is like, you're kinda nailing it, because this is gonna be a little bit too good of a team for you to keep blaming the team. Like, they've got a lot of good depth at wide receiver now between last year's draft and this year. Um, you got a lot of pass catchers. I know Okonkwo walked out the building, whatever, but he never did much. You can't really blame a lack or a departure of talent. Uh, it's gonna be interesting for Cam Ward, because if he looks like he's stinking it up a little bit, he could be sitting the bench next season, season after next, whatever.
yeah. I mean, I think it's a slippery slope. I mean, I think you like you said, you saw the flashes this year, um, where like I think the biggest thing that needs to change with him, if he wants to continue to move forward, he's got to stop playing hero ball, right? It
Yeah, but I
can't
think that's
there
kind
can't
of that's the lack of talent last year. I think you're gonna see that kind of fade a little bit, because he had to last year if he was trying to win.
I mean, but he did it at Miami.
Yeah, yeah,
I just feel like that's always kind of been his kind of
his
Achilles
vice.
heel is just his inability to not see when a play is not there, when to get off a play, when to not throw the ball, when you're scrambling, it's okay to throw the ball away. You'll live another down and you'll be able to get some yards. But if you turn the ball over, you can't do that the next play. And you know, I think that'll be the biggest kind of thing they got to get over, moving forward, if they're going to be the team that I think they can be, or the roster shows they could be. I mean, I think they have a really good roster on paper. So, it'll be interesting to see what they do.
It's
But they
good.
definitely have
I
a
don't know if
chance to
it's
be good.
I don't know if it's really good yet. But what were you saying?
They definitely have a chance to be a talk in that division.
I can see where they're almost taking the Texans route. You know, where like
Texans are out as of what year with
maybe
drafting?
not exactly a year, but like they get in this really, what I think is a talented defensive minded coach, and you see that defense turn around, and then now you're going to see kind of the offense maybe struggle to keep up with that side of the team.
Okay,
Um,
yeah, I see what you're saying.
I think we could see that a little bit, but like I said, I do like Cam Ward, so I think he figures that out. But this is going to be interesting. He doesn't, but the core of what all I'm saying, and what I think what you're kind of saying too, there's really no more excuses if you can't get the job done with this team.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean, just because they have given him everything as far as draft capital. They went out and got guys in free agency for Dable that Dable is familiar with, that they can quickly get things schemed up. Like talk about Wan'Dale Robinson. Um, I think they have a tight end that went over there from Giants. I mean, they should see what Cam Ward is about this season. Is what I'm trying to say.
yeah. I agree. I agree. It'll be. I think it'll be really interesting to see how the receiver room plays because they're super young.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I think that's gonna kind of be like that. Like, how big of a rookie learning curve does Carnell Tate have?
I think
I
he's
don't
the
know.
most already. I don't think it will be much.
So yeah, I don't disagree with you. But how big of a second year jump does Chimere Dike make?
That's what I'm excited for because I think
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he'll be legit.
yeah,
I think he's a really good receiver.
yeah. I think they've got like a lot of
Like
like surprising
I
talent
have
in the
him
wide receiver room.
like I have him in I think I have him in Glory Hole or I have him in something else.
Did you see I took over that league?
Yeah, yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. I meant to text you about that today because I was like, I didn't ever see you text in the chat. So that'll be fucking interesting. We'll see if we can get that packed. But
No, but yeah, no, I mean I think he'll be if he takes that jump, I think they'll be a team to be reckoned with.
yeah, I'm gonna give you one. Now it's one of the first teams we talked about. You want to keep talking on Tennessee?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Um, I'll give you my dark horse. I told Eddie about this. This is my dark horse team. I am like actually pretty convinced they may be a good team, but like I've got to hamper my expectations because of what division they're in. We already kind of talked about the third pick overall, fucking Cardinals. They could be damn fucking good, especially with like Carson Beck doesn't have to play right away. There is a world where I could see Carson Beck come in when Brissett is like 4-0 or 5-0 or 6-0. Because they're not on any kind of fucking timetable either. There's no rush to be good for that team right now, especially with the QBs and waiting next year. I mean, Carson Beck was a like, hey, let's just see dart throw. You know, I could see Carson Beck being good with this team that they're going to hand him because you've got a very talented offensive minded head coach that I think he's been slept on for a couple years now. I had him, and I think Shula they've been sleeping on for a couple years now. But they add Jeremiah Love. You've got, like I said, you got a pretty good bridge QB and Brissett. You've got McBride, who is arguably the best tight end in football right now by a long shot. You've got Marvin Harrison Jr. that is nothing but untapped potential, but a very good fucking option. You got Michael Wilson, who seems like he could be a QB's best friend after last season. You've got a defense. I think you've got guys all over that defense too. I mean, the only thing that is a question is their offensive line, but and obviously Jacoby Brissett, how long they can keep him afloat. But if I don't think anybody would blame them for waiting. I don't. We don't know what their schedule is yet, but like waiting until it was perfect timing to let Beck come in. You know what I'm saying? Like even if they start out 0-10, you know, if like the fucking the 10th game on their schedule after a bye week is a great time to introduce Carson Beck. Like why not? You know, like and I say they're my dark horse team. Like especially that division right now, it's a gauntlet, and like I don't think they're going to do anything this year. But I'm going to start betting on them this year, and I think next year or the year after next, if they have a really good draft again, I don't see any reason why the Cardinals aren't in the talks. And that's even if Carson Beck's not the guy.
Yeah, I mean, My hold up with the whole Carson Beck and Jacoby Brissett thing is this: they're the same goddamn quarterback.
Yeah, but you got one
Well,
on a
hold on.
rookie deal.
They're the same damn quarterback. What was Jacoby Brissett's issue his first 8 to 10 years in the NFL?
He
Why
sucked.
couldn't he uh, well, no shit, Sherlock. But what was the underlying reason why he could not stay on the field?
Was it the big game thing, or was he just didn't have the accuracy?
Turnovers. He kept turning the ball over. Interceptions left and right.
You think Carson Beck's gonna do that same thing for him?
I just think that you're taking an experienced vet that has played. I mean, he's as old, or he's older, 3 years older than us.
Beck.
Briss-
Yeah, Brissett.
Brissett,
That's what I said.
yeah, Brissett.
I would have bet over,
not
to be honest.
not Carson Beck.
I'm like, wait a second.
No, Brissett, because he was at Dwyer when I was at Wellington.
That's right.
He was
I
a
forgot about
senior.
that.
He was a senior when I was a freshman.
I forgot that he was a local boy to us.
He played basketball and football at Dwyer. Yeah.
I completely forgot about that. I did know that, but that was like a fucking distant memory.
Yeah. So, I mean, what let's say he's been in the league for 10 years, okay? I mean, it's just like you're gonna take a 10-year vet that's seen a lot of football, that kind of I mean, honestly, last year he didn't have a bad year at all. He had some turnovers that he probably shouldn't have, made the throws and so on and so forth. They probably would have won a couple more games.
Maybe not the one.
But it's like I just don't understand the like I mean, you gotta have him. It is what it is. You gotta have a backup. You gotta have somebody that's there to play, or a guy that can come in if somebody gets hurt. Um, but as far as like a long term thing, or even something where you're looking for him to just fill out his rookie contract, I don't I don't see the value in Beck and picking him in the third round. Um,
I see Beck in the third way more than I see Alar.
Oh,
I mean,
110%, but neither of them are third round picks in any other draft.
I'm gonna be real with you. I think Beck is a third round pick. I think that they were talking about him going 2 or 1. Dude, the fucking day before the draft, they were saying that there were rumors he might be taken at the back end of the first, somebody trading up for him. And I was
Yes,
like, that would be insanity.
but that's more or less because of the lack of quarterbacks in the draft.
Yes, yes.
You know,
But
it's like in my personal opinion, the kid from fucking Baylor would have been a better pick from him than him. Sawyer Robinson.
Sawyer Robinson. Yeah, no, okay, so this is how I understand it. You've got a kid, you got Carson Beck coming off of a national football or um, the national title game, okay?
Mhm.
Sometimes it's just kind of about that. The kid has played some big games. He's played a lot of SEC football. He's played with the Hurricanes last year, had a great season. He has proven that he can really support a strong cast around him. I think all signs are pointing him that he's NFL ready. At least NFL ready, like he can start games for you. I am not going to sit here and tell you Carson Beck is our answer, because I think that they took a flyer in the third round to make sure that they went and they got their guy. Because I do think they had a plan of possibly taking Ty Simpson somewhere in the back of the first, or they had at least a package together to trade up for to go get him. But you go and use a third round pick. It is what is it, the first and the third? Was it the first pick in the third round? I think it was.
65th overall pick.
I think it's the first pick. Yeah. I don't hate the pick though. I can't see it. Like sometimes it's just about can the guy play football for you this year? Because they don't have anybody but fucking uh, Brissett. I
No, I
mean,
know that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I get that you gotta have somebody there, you know, as a backup. I mean, I understand it's a little bit of a scramble thing, but I don't know. I've never been a big fan of his. Um, I think he's very uh, what's the right word? He's too inconsistent. He's too inconsistent to play that position at the level of the NFL.
I'm gonna not use inconsistent. I'm gonna use his processing isn't the best. Um, and I think that the game of football kind of slowed down for him towards the end of his collegiate career, and I think we're not going to see that at the next level. You're never going to see that game slow down for him to where he can process the field and stay consistent, like what you're saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I think another thing that really helped him kind of dummy it down, as I would say, dummy the game down as he, went through his college career is at Miami. He, I mean, his reads, his reads were not full field reads. His reads were 2, 3 options, maybe 3, but most of them had 2 options on them and then a check down.
Well, it was mostly the checkdowns, wasn't it? Like
I
the little,
mean, but but the 10-yard over routes that Tony run aren't the
that's what I'm
check
saying.
down, though.
The little.
That's not his check down, though.
uh,
That's his second read or his first read, depending on if he's reading top down or what. But it's like, I don't know. They dumbed it down for him to be able to process it fast enough for him to make the correct decision. And I just that's what I see, and I don't think he was able to decipher Todd Monken's offense at Georgia, and I think that's what really did him in. And now look where Todd Monken is. Where's Todd Monken? He's in the NFL. So it's like, what eh, at that position you can't be stupid. I'm not saying he's stupid, but I don't know. It's something like you're saying with the processing and the consistency that's just not there. And
it's yeah.
if you don't have that, then in my opinion, in the NFL, you can't be a successful quarterback.
I'm gonna, and I guess maybe this is the word because you kind of got me thinking maybe a better way to say it. I think he's played for a lot of NFL systems.
Hmm.
NFL similar systems, and I think he's at least had the starting job long enough in those systems that they're confident he can come in and at least play ball. And I think that that's sometimes all a player needs, especially if he can go in and win the starting job away from Brissett before the season starts, which I don't think is going to happen, but because they don't need him to. But I mean, there's a lot of these guys that come in and they something just clicks and they're able to develop under these veteran QBs until they're ready. And now you've got the best wide receiver core he's ever going to see that he's going to be throwing to. I mean, obviously he had Malachi Tony, but I mean, when he hit Malachi Tony, let's just face it, a lot of screens. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we talked about this, like there was a shit ton of screens. It's not like Malachi Tony's going to be awesome, but I think having an MHJ and a Michael Wilson, and that's like your starting two, not even including a pass catching Jeremiah Love and a McBride. He's going to have a lot of guys surrounding him that like I'm almost confident he's going to develop with these guys. You know what I'm saying? If they give him the chance.
Yeah.
That's that is kind of what I'm saying. Like, and I say confident. I'm confident that it was worth the third round pick. That's where I'm at.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's just, I mean, I personally think it's one of those things that I just have a bias against him, and I haven't really liked him ever since he was at Georgia, to be honest. So,
I hated him at Georgia, and I hated him for most of his time at Miami.
yeah, I don't know.
He
Something
just was
about
always in the news for stupid shit, and he was always like, he always just had that dumb look on his face whenever he throw an interception, and like, I understand it. He's not a likable guy. This is like, it's like a Josh Rosen all over again. Like
yeah, yeah, or Sam Darnold when Sam Darnold came out.
I always loved Donald, but I always loved my Donald. Even for the Jets, I like Donald. I really wanted Donald to go to Cleveland back then.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought it was backwards. I thought Donald should have went to Cleveland and Baker should have gone to New York. I really do. They, I think their personalities were so like Donald was the perfect Cleveland QB for like the time.
Yeah,
Like just
yeah.
like simple man. Like he would have like Donald would have owned like a farm in Cleveland somewhere, like
Pasty white farm boy.
yeah,
That
dude.
what
Like
that's what you're going for?
yeah, he like would have like pulled into the facility with like his horse trailer in the back all the time, like just going to work, like I could have seen that so much more over than like, you know, Mr. Football Baker.
Guy shows up in a horse-drawn carriage to practice.
Like a what the fuck are those called, dude? I want to say Mormon, but it's not a Mormon. It's a uh,
What?
what are the people who have like no electricity up there in Pennsylvania?
Amish.
Amish, like an Amish dude. Not Donald comes in like an Amish dude. Like doesn't even have a phone, dude. Like just goes in, chucks the rock, and goes back to like his straw pillow with like candlelit lights. I wanted to say Mormon. I'm like, that's not right. Uh, we got so much more we can talk about. I don't know how long you wanna put you wanna go on this one, but yeah, we've been doing a trying to do the snap count off, but it's been absolutely dog shit. So I think we're gonna let that one die with the last episode. All right, we'll get together tomorrow. Everybody, thanks for joining. We're gonna keep bringing these rookies at you. There's nothing to talk about but this right now, so you're gonna be hearing a lot of it. Love you, bud. We'll talk to you later. Love you guys. Thanks.
Friday hits, the mics are hot, the boys roll in. Crack a cold one, let the bullshit begin. NFL Sunday, college Saturdays too. Fantasy drafts got us scheming what to do. Talking spread, Jesus, money line plays. Who's covering the number, who's getting paid? One guy's ranting about his WI code. Another swearing off the Chiefs forevermore. Fluent football, yeah, we flew in the game. Talking pigskin props and pick six shame. They're in the cup, lives in the air. Bullshit about football, we just don't care. From kickoff to the final whistle blow, we're fluent in the chaos, let the good times flow. Fluent football podcast, turn it up loud. Just a crew of degenerates, football proud. He's here to start your studs, but his Arby's on by. Someone trying to flip her trades where it's a steal, no lie. College ball chaos upsets every week. Group chat blowing up, the underdog squeaks. Bets going sideways, bodies passion burn, but we chase the next one, live and learn. Pass another round, debate the Heisman race. Who's the real MVP? Put it in our face. Fluent football, yeah, we flew it in the game. Talking big skin props and dick six shame. Beer in the cup, laughs in the air. Bullshit about football, we just don't care. From kickoff to the final whistle blow, we're fluent in the chaos, let the good times flow. Fluent football podcast, turn it up loud. Just a crew of degenerates, football proud. No hot take scripted, no producer cut. Just our opinion, sometimes we get shut.